The way the MMI interview logistically is set up is that we have a corridor that has 9 different exam rooms. Each of the exam room has an interviewer, and each of those interviewers has a different scenario question. The scenario question could be anywhere from 2 to 3 sentences to maybe half a paragraph. It sets up a situation, and the situation has some internal tension to it or has some clearly defined directions that you could go in terms of resolving it. So what we want to do is have the student read the question, and then how would they respond or move forward with that particular situation. So they get 2 minutes to read the scenario before they enter the room. A little bell tells them it's time to enter the room. And then they have 8 minutes to interact with the interviewer. And usually they almost invariably will run out of time before they finish. So even though 8 minutes seems like a lot to talk about any one subject that you've just been introduced to, we're really surprised at how well the students do in terms of being able to bring in their own life experience and other information to at least establish a perspective and a direction on the scenario question. At the end of the 8 minutes, a bell rings again, and they move on to the next exam room where they have 2 minutes to read that scenario and then enter the room and have another 8 minutes. So going through the 9 scenario stations plus a traditional interview station the last 20 minutes takes about a total of 2 hours. But as they go through the room, they have time to grab another bottle of water, and most of them have a little bit sense of relaxation before they go in for the traditional interview because it's 2 minutes to kind of just to catch their thoughts before they go in. The MMI process was developed by McMaster University School of Medicine in Ontario, Canada. They put the whole process together about 6 or 7 years ago. The concern has always been that a traditional interview isn't as predictive of success in medical school as we would like it to be, so they were looking for other ways of doing it. And I think what they looked at is that they used the analogy of a football coach with scouts. If you had 9 different scouts, would it be more effective and useful to send those 9 different scouts to watch a quarterback playing 9 different times, or should you send all the scouts to watch just one game? So I think what the MMI does with these small scenarios that each student responds to, it gives us a chance as the interviewer to observe them in 9 different settings to know, to be able to evaluate how they think on their feet, how they put their thoughts together, and to see if this is someone who we think will work well in the curriculum that we've developed. For the students, they come in typically a little bit apprehensive because this is something they haven't done before. They know that a one-on-one interview can be good or bad, so they're not really sure how this is going to compare to that. We use a hybrid at VTC where we also have a traditional one-on-one interview, so the student does get a chance to explain some of the information from their record, give us a little more feel of their emotional sense of why they want to be a doctor, and that's good. But as far as the scenario process, most of the students find it goes by so fast, and because the questions don't deal with a lot of specific medical topics, it's a chance for them just to show how they think on their feet, how their mind works, can they take a balanced approach to any particular issue. That they usually come away feeling that it was a lot more fun than the traditional interview, and most of the comments we've seen on the blogs reflect that perspective. When we bring in a group of students for an interview week, and it's usually 40 to 44 students, we split them into 4 teams. 2 of the teams get to interview in the morning and 2 interview in the afternoon. For those that don't interview in the morning, they get a tour of the city and a tour of the new medical school. The tour of the city is typically done by a bus or a trolley.
The primary trade area, retail wise, for Roanoke is about 700,000 people. That's much larger than our population of about 300,000. Means you can buy a lot of stuff in Roanoke that you would not normally find in an area our size.
They get a chance to see the downtown area, center on the square, all the museums, restaurants, and see the little vibrant heart that we have in Roanoke that shows that we have a lot going on, even though we're a fairly small community in the middle of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Then they also get a chance to see the new medical school. During the weekend, they will get a chance to interact with some of our current students at both a Friday night reception and at a wrap-up session for question and answers at the end of the interview on Saturday.